There you go. Micah Kia, UCLA senior offensive tackle. Micah, obviously last year was trying for you both mentally and physically. What was harder, the mental rehabilitation or the physical rehabilitation?
By far is the mental. The body is an amazing machine. It was designed to go through all different types of hell and recover from it. But it's the mind that suffers. Because even when your body is fully recovered, it's the mind that holds you back. And that's the same lesson I got from all the different people that I had talked to. Chris Joseph, Khalil Bell, and all these other guys Pat Cowan that had gone through the same injuries that I consoled with after being injured. They all told me the same things. The body will heal. It's just you got to prepare yourself mentally to be ready to go when the time is right.
I guess the one benefit, there's no benefit to the injury you suffered, but as an offensive lineman, there's a lot less cuts, there's a lot less drastic movements, and yet at the same time you have to be able to trust yourself and you have to be able to trust, the body part that failed you. At what point did you gain that trust back, or do you still feel like it's coming along?
I definitely have the trust. If there's anything I learned is to put it in the back of your mind. It's not something that you really have to think about. If it's something you think about, then you haven't overcome it.
Yeah.
So when you step onto the practice field, you got to treat it like any other day. If that day I got hurt, if I had known before going out I would have got hurt, I still would have gone out.
Yeah.
That's just what you're supposed to do. So, you got to be able to, like I said, trust the trainers that, doing what they told you to do was the right thing. And they've done it 1,000 times before. So trust the people that helped me and trust my body. Just keep it from your mind.
When you get that trust back, what's the next step? After you say, okay, I have it in the back of my mind, or I don't even have it in my mind at all, what's the next step? Is it getting back to where you were, or is it trying to find a way to skip, where you were and jump ahead of where you were before the injury?
You don't want to rush yourself. If you push yourself to beyond your own personal limits, then you're trying to do too much. And it's when you try to do too much when you start to re-injure yourself.
Yeah.
It's staying within yourself, knowing your body. So although you have to keep the injury from your mind, you also have to be able to read your body and know when to hold back and know when to push further. So it's a delicate balance that one needs to keep. There's no really definite answer, but it's hard to say.
So you're back now. Moving on from the injury questions, because I know you're tired of that, I'm sure. Yesterday was not the prettiest scrimmage offensively, and it seems like we have these questions after most of your guys' scrimmage. Just that things aren't clicking, whatever you want to call it. Why does the UCLA defense seem to come up on top of scrimmage, and does that have more to do with talent and all that stuff, or with the structure of the way the scrimmages are built?
You can naysay or point fingers at whatever you want to point at. Myself personally, the blame is on the self. We have a dynamic defense, no doubt, but the offense is designed to work. See, it's the personal hard work that the individual needs to put in order to succeed. I'm not blaming it on anything. I'm not blaming it on rhythm. I'm not blaming it on inexperience and this and that, because we definitely have what it takes. Now it's time to put everything together.
Yeah.
It was a great learning experience, and I've said before, a lot of people have said, you learn nothing from success, but you learn a lot from failure. And we learned a lot about ourselves in the scrimmage, even though it was a short 30-play scrimmage. There was a lot of guys out there who, quote-unquote, came under the lights and started to try to do too much. And it's a learning experience. They learned that about themselves, and they'll learn not to do it next time. So it was, even though we didn't look good on film and in front of everybody, it was a great learning experience, and we'll benefit from it.
Something I talked to a certain extent with Taylor Embry about, and Coach Moses. How much of a scrimmage and how much of offense in general is that rhythm that you develop by just going out there? You have 15, 25 seconds, whatever it is, 25 seconds between plays. You just got to get into some kind of rhythm. Whereas in scrimmages, it's almost like there's coaching going on, and there's so much in between plays that kind of holds you back, it seems, offensively.
Well, in a game, rhythm is everything. a good push on first down, a big chunk on second down, first down on third down. And it's the more successful you are on the next play and the next play, the more charisma you gain, the more confidence you gain.
For sure.
And the more feeling you have with the person next to you and the person across from you. And when things start going wrong and you lose the rhythm, then you start thinking about other things. You start thinking about the problems. And but the thing about practice is it takes you out of that rhythm and teaches you to regain it. So everything in practice is, although it may not look picture perfect, everything has a purpose.
Awesome. Micah Kia, UCLA offensive lineman. Thanks so much, man.
Yeah, no problem.